But Drake fans told me that the Houston show was going to flop.
Let's go ahead and pull up one of Drake's biggest beer holders for coming out and trying to discredit the show and say that all of these seats were available and it's looking bad and he's supposed to be this big artist and all this stuff, but all the empty seats, blase, blase. We had this Aubrey's attorney page. Now, shout out to OK Mama. She real cool. She's posting the proof of this. It says, despite claims of being sold out, 13K tickets remain unsold for Kendrick's Houston show tomorrow. Almost the entire 100 section is empty. I guarantee you that we will soon be hearing stories about him giving free upgrades to people in the nosebleeds to fill those empty seats. Now, what I don't understand is if you're giving people free upgrades to fill in empty seats, all that's going to do is create more empty seats. So where the is left, you know? But clearly, Aubrey's attorney ain't a real attorney and ain't all that smart to begin with. Just a motherfucking troll online that gets way more attention than needed. But this is the image that they were trying to spread around. One of many images. This shit got over 796,000 views. Trying to bash this man. So here we have another user from the OVHO community, and they say Kendrick Lamar's concert in Houston is not sold out, and bots online have been used to sell his tickets.
So things must not be looking too good for Kendrick, right? This is looking really dark, right? He might have to cancel his tour, the low ticket sales. I think it might be time for Kendrick to retire, man. Like these are too big of L's to ever come back from. So things aren't looking too good for Kendrick, right? And leading up to this Houston show that wasn't very sold out, right? Didn't really sell too many tickets. Now, all right, things may not be looking too good for that Houston show, but what about the one he did the night before, right? Because that was allegedly sold out, right? Well, Big Macus and Academics took a look at the crowd at, the first night of the GNX tour, and this is what he had to say about it.
And by the way, yes, this do look packed. Gotta be honest. We not lying now, okay? Ooh, that's a good look. This is a good look right here. Now, we're going to get official capacity numbers, so we're going to get the total count of how many people are in these arenas, or not arenas, but stadiums. And we'll get that probably at some point with touring data. But it looks pretty good to me. Again, we're not here to lie on nobody. We just here to report the facts and give our opinions about it.
So let's see how those final numbers came out, right? Because we did just get all the numbers of the first night of the GNX tour. So did it sell out? Was Drake making more money off his Australia shows than Kendrick and SZA combined were able to make on the GNX tour? I mean, remember Drake's line in Push-Ups? Your show money's merch money fee to us? Like, what you make off your shows, I make off my merch, right? That's what Drake was saying. Or the first number one, I got to put it in your hand. All right, La Brianna. All right, calm down here. Let's see what these numbers look like for the first night of the GNX tour. So, after all these L's, after Kanye saying Kendrick can't rap, after the Houston show not selling out, let's see in Minneapolis, the first night of the GNX tour. How did it do? Well, $9.124 million in revenue for this show. All right. 354,000 tickets sold. That's 100% of all the tickets that were available to buy out. 47,000 tickets. Over that is what they sold out for one night. To put it into perspective, the last Drake show I saw was back in 2023 before the beef. He sold out the arena in a town next to me. It was about 15,000 people. And I knew a couple people who got floor seats who literally went the night of the show because the tickets were selling for so cheap because they were just trying to get rid of them. So they got floor seats. Kendrick sold out a venue triple the size. And, the OVHOs were saying, they kept lowering the ticket prices. People were getting upgraded. If you got the nosebleed seats, you would get upgraded to the floor because they were trying to close off all the aisles in the back to make it look more packed because things weren't just selling out, so people got upgraded to the floor, right? Look at the ticket price here. $192 on average is what people are paying.
What up, words? Your boy Charles Brown back again talking facts. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell. Keep sending those cash apps to CLBMG. Join the membership gang. Listen, I want to first and foremost come out in a hearty way to say a salute to Jay Nolan and Rapperholics, two YouTubers that are on their game. They are on top of this case of this Houston GNX flow. They broke down the whole show, the whole game of what's going on with these weirdo pages by Aubrey's attorney and Caribou and all these other Drake stans, these anti-faxers, right? That's going to be the new name for these guys. They are anti-faxers because they spin narratives all day, every day. I don't know who is cutting the checks at this point for these Drake stan pages, but they are working full time. Even academics can't keep up with these guys. He tries, he goes live, but he cannot keep up with the machine that has become the Aubrey's attorney. I don't even know how that name even makes any sense because the page is always wrong. It's always full of bullshit. And I don't know what's going on. Even What's the Dirt has chosen a side, and he's decided if I can't beat him, then I got to try to eat him. And I don't know, it ain't working because even his page has become almost all Drake all day, all the time, right? So here we are. These numbers, these fake numbers, these fake narratives are permeating online, and some people are starting to believe this stuff. Even I have to double check and triple check what's going on, because when I saw that the Houston show was in danger, it's about to fail, it's about to flop, they're going to have everybody that's in the nosebleed seats, they're going to move them down. Come down, gang, come down, move down. They're going to have them move down lower so that they can fill in those empty spaces down the bottom so that it won't look so dry when they go live, right? And a lot of this stuff, once you hear stuff, it's just like how we got these politics to where they are now. Once they drill stuff so many times in your head, a lot of people don't even question it no more. It becomes fact. So what happens in the real world, still, believe it or not, facts actually do matter. And at some point, you can't just blame things on bots, and you can't just blame things on lies, and you can't blame things on they did this, they did that, and they are blackballing Drake. Like, at some point, the theys and the bots don't make no sense in the real world. So what is happening now? We are seeing footage of these shows. The first show was Minneapolis, if I'm not mistaken, and the footage came out. The show was 100% sold out. Top to bottom, everyone that paid for the tickets showed up. I'm sure there was some will calls. In a natural show, things happen. It is what it is. Some people can't make it. They sell a ticket. I don't know why we're getting so technical, because it's so desperate now that the slightest thing that's normal business practice has now become, oh, snap, they got people waiting at the will call. Like, it's weird, gang. But this is where we are. We have these Drake fans trying to find the slightest win, right? Anita Max win, right? All that good stuff like that. But the sad thing about it is, what if this was a win? Let's examine if the Houston, the one show out of all these shows, if the one show actually flopped, which it did not. They're saying that there was still 13,000. This is Aubrey's attorney's page, 13,000 tickets. This arena, if I'm not mistaken, holds up between 47, 49,000 people. So that would mean it's over 30,000 tickets, 35,000 tickets sold. If my math is not mathing right, let me know. That would mean that Drake has never sold these kind of tickets, even if it was 13,000 left. He's selling places that do 15,000 people. He's never done a stadium, to my knowledge. If I'm not, in his career, he's never done a stadium. Right? This is just, maybe I'm wrong. Somebody correct me in the comments and I'll eat it. But from my understanding, Drake does arenas, and this is the first time that Kendrick has done this level. Yes, he's eating what he killed. He beat you in the battle. Right? Allegedly, he just broke a record, 9.1 million for the first million lot, him and SZA. Let me not forget, it's him and SZA. And they're even trying to spin that. Oh, if it wasn't for SZA. Like, everything needs to be spun. It can't just be, we just need to shut up and let this thing pass. No. They got to spin everything. Everything has to be knocked. Their little echo chamber needs food. We got to eat. So now it's, oh, if it wasn't for SZA, it's every kind of narrative. But the narrative that he was going to flop didn't work, because the first show in Minneapolis had 100% sellout rate, 47,000 seats sold, 47,000 people in the building. That's triple of what the shows that Drake was selling over there in Australia that were struggling to sell. Let's just be honest. I'm going to go on a limb and say Drake would really struggle to do a tour, this same tour of this magnitude, with just him and one other artist. I promise you. I don't see a path forward where Drake does this many arena tours and he sells them anywhere near what just happened, okay? But they want to harp on it was 13,000, which was a lie, gang. I'm getting there. It's a roundabout way to get to. The Houston show didn't flop. Minneapolis didn't flop. I'm just getting there because this is what they were kicking, right? Like we say in DC, it's kicking the bobo. They were kicking this, right? That the show was 13,000 seats under. It was on the way to being a flop. And they were doing all these antics and all this K-bot stuff and da-da-da. Bots were buying tickets, but it really wasn't real people. It's all this stuff. And imagine taking pride in that, right? Imagine that my guy was so lame. He got beat so bad over a year ago. All this stuff is transpired. He's released a new album. He gave you some sexy songs for you to jam to. And you're still over here trying to see how many tickets Kendrick sold. You're not listening to some sexy songs for you. You're over here worrying about is the Houston show going to flop. That's your hill. So that's the hill you want to die on. So let's get on that hill together. Basically, the Houston show did not flop. The Minneapolis show did 9.1 million, broke a record. No rapper has ever done that in one show. Right? Eminem was the last one. He broke Eminem's record. No rapper with or without collaborations has ever done that in a show. But they were saying that this whole tour is struggling. Guys, I don't think they understand what's happening. The culture has spoken. He's transcended the culture. Kendrick is now pop without even trying. Kendrick is popular without even trying. That's what pop is, popular music. Okay? You don't got to make records like Christina Aguilera and Britney Spears to end up with a pop hit. A pop hit can come without you you didn't aim for a pop hit, but that's what happened, right? You remember a rap group called Arrested Development. They had a song called Tennessee. That record blew up really big. They didn't make Tennessee to be a pop hit, but it ended up being a pop hit, okay? So that's what happens. Some things just blow up because they're good, right? So this is where we are with Kendrick's Not Like Us. This was a rap record. He knew it was a good record. I'm sure he didn't expect this level of success with the record. That's why he's eating off of it like he is. This stuff only happens once in a lifetime, so he's making the most of it. Your guy just did the pop out. He did the Super Bowl, and now he's doing a world tour, doing stadiums. Which, yes, Drake fan, he would not have been able to do it without this, but now he is, and Drake can't do it. He's eating what he's killed. It's called a battle. He won in the battle. Now he get to eat all the food, yours and his too. Right? Oh, he's milking it. Damn right. Damn right. Your boy jumped out the window, wanted a battle. He got it. He lost bad, and now he's got to give up his food. Ain't no such word as milking it in this business, gang. Ain't no milking it. He's eating what he killed. He get to eat this for 5 years. Ain't no milking it. He's eating his food. So the Houston show, again, sold out. People had a great time. Footage came out. They tried to alter the footage. Then it went so low, gang. The show was sold out. It wasn't no seats up there empty and all this and that. All of that was disproven. Even academics had to say, we didn't hear the lie, right? So then they started saying, wait, the crowd is quiet. They ain't even real Kendrick fans. The crowd is quiet. So they had to dispel that and had to come out with different footage. Why, gang? Why we doing this? Why do we have to do this? Why? It's not enough that I put 47,000, me and SZA put 47,000 people in there. What you said, we was 13,000 short, right? Mind you, these venues are 3 times the size of the ones that Drake was doing for one show. 3 of Drake's shows could fit in this situation. And this is one show, gang, but they're not talking about that. They're trying to say that the crowd wasn't loud enough. The crowd doesn't know his raps. They don't know what he's saying because he's doing that real hip hop. They there for SZA. All of these narratives sound good until you go and see the footage of them rapping word for word with this guy. Okay? Yes, SZA has her fans, and yes, SZA fans were there too. But it's called synergy, cross promotion. These two are locked in. They got plenty of songs together, right? He didn't just do a bunch of obscure shit. He got songs that people know. And her fans cross over to his. They know each other's music, gang. So why would I sit there and know Kendrick stuff but not know hers? Make it make sense, gang. It's like when Jay and Beyonce went on tour. Everybody was like, oh, that's Beyonce fans. And then when I went to the show, I was at the show. I'll be at this Kendrick Scissor show. It's coming to Boston. I'll be there. People know them both, gang. I don't know why this. Like the narratives, if you're really a real, just a real person, you know you're going to be able to go to the show. You're going to know Kendrick and Scissor's music. You're going to know them both. Yes, to a degree, right? It's just how it is. It's just real life. But no, the narrative, and it makes them feel warm inside to have these narratives, because then they can hang their hat on this, that they're bored. Somehow Drake doesn't lose if Kendrick loses, right? Somehow if Kendrick shows flops, they win somehow. Somehow Drake gets nothing out of this. There's no upside for this for anybody in OVO, but somehow if the Houston show flop, all of the other ones could do 99% sold out. It's packed wall to wall. But if we can get that Houston show and we can focus on that for 5 days, then we somehow, some way win. I don't know, gang. And I know this retaliation for us focusing on those Australia shows. Well, we didn't focus on it. We told the story and moved on. I didn't wake up every day, morning and night, talking about the Australia shows flopped. Right? But they were weird stories. He had signs up, hey, mate, buy my wife her wedding ring. Pay for my mom's, like they're in Australia, so they talk kind of different. Pay for my mom's mortgage. They sit there holding up signs trying to get money from this guy. It was different. And we talked about it. We wasn't gleefully like, oh, he can't sell shows. He can't. It was news, gang. But this ain't news because they're reporting fake, false information. If I was them, I would fall back and just talk about the good things. Right? You know how they say, you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. Just talk about the good things Drake got going on. He got an album coming out, right? Try to figure out the features. Talk about that. Try to figure out the title. Like, go do some Drake stuff in Drake land. I know they got stuff going on over there. There's a whole lot of stuff y'all can be talking about. Ain't he great go live on once a week on Kick? Why don't y'all go talk about that? What that's gonna look like? Him in a bathrobe, getting out the bubble bath with steak on his computer. How many skits? Y'all could make up some skits, do a whole lot of stuff, figure out a whole lot of stuff to do over there. Because over here it's win time. This guy did the Super Bowl and the Pro Bowl. And you know what I'm saying? He about to do another Super Bowl again. Because not in real life, I'm just saying he's winning, gang. So I don't know why you're focusing on these things. They lost bad. Drake and that whole camp lost real bad. They still losing. They wouldn't even be able to put half the people in there that you guys are trying to make it a bad thing. Even if it was only 35,000 people. Only? That's almost 3 times as many as Drake would have in one of his shows. He can't fill a space like this. But y'all don't want to have that conversation. Especially now. Drake cachet is short, it's small, it's low. I don't know right now, them tickets ain't gonna be yada yada. That was the other thing. Oh, they're lowering the ticket price as well. The lowest ticket price was $192. That's before the tax and the fees. So you're talking everybody in that bitch paid $200, right? Salute the Rapperholics. He was like, that's not good for us to consume it. Because gang, let's be honest, an average show, right? To me, average show, tops, 99, 120. We should be paying for anybody, gang. I'm just going to be honest, right? We're talking, they're paying $200 for the nosebleed. They paying $600 for the floor. That's what we paid, right? So this is what it is. You want to go, right? You want to go or you don't. It is what it is. They know they can get it. These prices are obnoxious, but this is what it is. These guys demand a heavy fee when they do these shows, right? So that's the thing that people aren't talking about. These things are not cheap. You're talking about how many people didn't show up, da-da-da. This place is packed with people that paid a lot of money, right? Bro was like, the merch was starting at $55. That's crazy. So they winning regardless of what you're doing on your videos. Just gonna be honest. But at the end of the day, here we are. We gotta defend the nonsense, because if you don't defend it, they'll run with it. They'll keep it going, and before you know it, it'll be chinks in the armor. That's not real chinks. I see why Kendrick doesn't respond to this stuff. I see why he never goes on streams. He doesn't participate in foolishness, because it's a sad state of affairs, the stuff that they're willing to try to make real. If you defend yourself from one thing, you got to defend yourself from all of it. They'll have this guy defending the last 10 years of his existence if they can pin him down and get all these questions off, because they don't want to believe it. Because if they believe it, it means that this is things that Drake could not do. And then you would have to admit that this guy has steamrolled this guy in every single way. His career has overtaken him, and somehow, some way, just because he's leapfrogged him, which they always had the numbers, they've always had the statistics, they've always had the tour sales. Well, this tour grade knock a lot of that stuff. I'm gonna be honest, we knew that this guy was gonna be him, but we didn't know he would reverse everything. And like they said, like I feel like this is, like I said a couple videos back, it's low-key good versus evil. It's like gang. I know you're like, don't we call this man evil? But look at what's going on. This guy has reversed every single thing that Drake held true. Everything that Drake held true, he held it like it was a gauntlet. This guy owned everything. You couldn't talk nothing about him. Dudes been trying to get him out of here for years. I keep telling y'all, they argue me down when I try to take him out of that conversation of like, you can't put this guy as best rapper of all time. I get argued down, screamed on. That was before now. Okay? Ain't nobody screaming at me now saying I gotta put Drake in the top 10 because of the sales and the numbers and the love he gets in the hood. Well, you know Drake could spit. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Drake could spit. Stop with this nonsense, yo. Come on, B. I had to hear that shit. I never could put this shit to bed, but now it's to bed. That shit is night-night. Night-light with a pillow and a bobo in his mouth. That thing is, now you gotta have that conversation no more. That baby sleeping. Ain't nobody gonna look at me dead in my eye and try to tell me Drake belong in the top 10, top 20 rapper conversation. I don't got, baby, listen, I can go night-night right now with that baby, wake up peaceful, because I don't gotta hear from nobody. Even Drake fans, they can argue about a lot of shit, but they can't argue to me that he got to be in that top 20 rapper conversation no more. They can tell me about sales and all this nonsense, but not that one. Now with all the ghostwriting allegations and all this, we don't got to have it. But that's what I'm saying. They need something to, and I get it. I'm gonna look at it from the other side on some kinder and gentler, right? Because I know some of y'all soft, right? I'm going to give you the fact that, okay, let us live too. They probably like, let me live. Right? Let us live. If we like the man, let us have something. Okay, you can like him without trying to tear this man down. Battle's over. You're trying to tear him down with lies and all this stuff about bots and da-da-da, which at this point, what about Kendrick that you look at and see that he's a man that wants to cheat and lie and be misleading to be on top? What has he shown you that that's his character? If you're going to attack him on something that's really, that you can attack him on. Outside of that, you don't look at this man and see like, this guy, he be lying. He deceitful. Where are you getting all this stuff that you believe he's going to be bodying and he's going to be faking his streams and he's going to be faking his crowd? Like, you know how much deception that, you know how much energy that take to continuously and forever care about that? I think he's winning because he don't care about that. And everybody is starting to see like, he really doesn't really care about that. He's just trying to put on a good show. For you and me, right? He's just trying to put on a good show. He's just trying to do good work, put out good music. And yes, he wants to remind you that this little punk ass dude tried to play with me. And every time, because you guys, every couple months, y'all try to duck your head out like, yo, we could get busy, round 2, da-da-da. He keeps reminding you, gang, no, you can't. Because I'm still the boogie man. I got my boogie shoes on. I'll come from under this bed. Right? That's why he keeps bringing this guy's name up. Because every time you turn around, these guys that keep talking about this round 2 and this and that. And we hear it. And he hear it. So no, Houston did not flop. Minneapolis was the biggest show in the solo career of any rapper. No rapper has ever did 9.1 million with or without help. No one's ever done it. He passed Eminem, right? He's doing his thing right now. It is what it is. Eminem could come back in 2 years and pass him with that. It is what it is. But right now, Kendrick got that. Okay? I hope I covered everything. But just so you know and I know, there was no flop in this. This thing going to steamroll. It's probably going to do more numbers than Drake has ever done, which that's going to be the nail in the coffin. The coffin already got a bunch of nails in it, but it's like one more little nail right there to break his touring record. Right? It's going to be like, bang, coffin closed. We tired of this dude. Sexy Songs for You Part 2. Bring that out, and we're going to move on with our life. Let me know what you think, man. I think I covered everything, man. If it's something you need to know about the tour, go check out Rapperholics. He had a lot more stats than me. Go check out Jay Nolan. Salute to them because they put the time in and put the work in, and I respect that. All right? if you want to support the channel, CLBMG on the Cashapp. Also, go over to Black-Yeti, Y-E-T-I, black-yeti.com. Check them out, see what they got going on. They ship everywhere in the country. He said he got the slowest burning black papers in the world. So go over there and check out what's going on about. Man, I don't believe that, but that's what he told me. He said they're the slowest burning papers in the whole country. So check it out, black-yeti.com. Also, every Wednesday night, we got the What Show. Make sure you tune in to me, TJ, and Fliz. We talking about some crazy stuff, and we about to be in Atlanta. I think in about 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, we're going to be in Atlanta at the Fleet DJs, right? We talking about some other stuff in DC, and we talking about the What Radio Show. We probably doing that real soon. That's going to be, listen, a lot of stuff going on. Just stay with us, gang. We appreciate you. I'm going to catch you on that flip side. Peace.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine. Elevate your mind with high quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com.
CLB.